everyone, Thordan Smash here, and we are out rock climbing in Colorado. And today, we are going to be talking about some controversy hitting Apex Legends. We're going to go over all of that. We're also going to go ahead and give out a prestige skin. All you got to do is like, comment, subscribe. You guys know the drill. But without further ado, let's jump into today's topic.
What's up, Legends? Today we're asking the big question. Can Apex Legends ever climb back to its glory days, or is it sliding downhill faster than Octane after 3 stims? And we just got the brand new Iron event. It's, pretty fun. But if you check the Steam charts right now, Apex isn't dead, far from it actually, but it's also not the same cultural powerhouse it was in 2019 to 2020. Back then, every update felt like an event. You can just look at the YouTube channels that exploded from it. Hey, what's up? That was me at the same time. Now, some updates feel like, well, Respawn just changed one number in a spreadsheet and just called it a patch. We're going to talk a lot in this video, and we're going to start with the glory days. So Season 1 through 5, those were the glory days of Apex Legends. Also, I guess Season 0 when the game first released and seasons weren't a thing, but whatever. It was basically the shiny new kid on the block. The game that made Fortnite sweat a little and made Call of Duty Warzone nervous before Warzone even launched. And so what made Apex so good? There were 3 things. One was movement, sliding, wall climbing, zipline plays. Apex had flow. Fortnite made you build a skyscraper. Apex made you feel like you were in an action movie. You could literally style on people. Just look at some of the big hits that were around when the game launched. Then you have gunplay. This wasn't just some point and pray shooter. Looking at you, Call of Duty. You can literally style on people. Apex's guns had recoil patterns to learn, projectiles to masters, and time to kills that actually rewarded precision. You could actually outplay people. Again, it reminded me a ton of Halo with the TTK, and I really enjoyed that. And of course, there were Legends that worked. Sure, Wraith remains were insufferable, but Legends actually felt pretty balanced in the beginning. Their abilities complemented fights instead of replacing them. You didn't just lose a gunfight because some guy pressed Q, you lost because they aimed better, moved better, or just outplayed you. And the content cadence at this time was pretty beautiful. There was new Legends every single season, map rotations, LTMs that didn't feel like filler. Remember Armed and Dangerous or Soiree? All those were fantastic. The first time we got Winter Express, those modes did feel like events, not just reskins with different loot pools. And the monetization, oh boy, yeah, it wasn't perfect. Some cosmetics were overpriced. There was a whole Bloodhound heirloom debacle if you were around for that time period. But the Battle Pass was actually worth grinding and people got excited about skins. Nobody felt like they had to remortgage their house just to get a cool heirloom. Back then, Apex felt fresh. It felt like a game built for both casuals and sweats. You could hop in for fun or grind ranked with your squad, and both felt really rewarding. Now, let's talk about the fall, or at least, not the fall, but more of a stumble down the hill. Because here's the truth. Apex never completely died, but it has definitely struggled. Steam charts don't lie, and yes, I know, there's also console, but I mean, console's probably in the same boat as Steam. Probably mirrors it pretty regularly. And concurrent players are down massively from the peaks. And I know it's also on console because sometimes there's issues with getting into a queue. So yeah, there. But yeah, the game still gets hundreds of thousands daily compared to where it was. And that's a serious drop off. So what went wrong with that? Well, every season brings buffs and nerfs, but somehow the game kind of always feels stuck. Some Legends stay dominant forever. Like Octane somehow is, always in the top of the pick rate. While others like Crypto only get picked when someone's doing a YouTube challenge or the one season they got a buff. The time to kill has also bounced around too. Some seasons fights last forever, some seasons you're deleted faster than Mirage's decoy. The inconsistency makes players frustrated because Apex was supposed to be the BR where gun skill mattered most. Instead, it sometimes feels like cooldown roulette. Now, number 2 is kind of obvious. Cheaters have always been a constant plague. Smurfs are everywhere in pubs and ranked, and the perception, whether true or not, is that Respawn's anti-cheat hasn't kept up. Nothing kills new player retention faster than getting beaten by someone who clearly downloaded their aim. Then you have, number 3. Apex, like I said, had a very strong start, but over time, the updates started to feel a little repetitive. New maps came less frequently, LTMs turned into recycled playlists, and events became predictable. Instead of, wow, new stuff, it was, oh cool, another event with recolors. Then number 4, and this is something that, everyone should be aware of, servers, lag, audio bugs, you name it. Even after the big migration to the Amazon Game Lift servers, ALGS matches were crashing like a poorly built Rampart wall. For a competitive game, the kind of stability makes Apex look unprofessional compared to its rivals, just being perfectly honest. And then the last one you have is, well, the nuclear bomb, monetization. Apex monetization has gone from a little pricey to EA has gone full for greenie. The Iron Crown event was the first red flag, loot boxes, overpriced cosmetics, and an heirloom locked behind a paywall, but that was $160. Then came prestige skins at $160 after that, Battle Pass reworks that gave you less for more grind. And store rotations built entirely around FOMO, and then now universal heirlooms where you have to pay around $360 to get the heirloom. Instead of feeling like a fair free-to-play game, Apex now feels kind of like a slot machine with a BR attached, and that has burned a lot of goodwill. Now, in fairness, Respawn isn't asleep at the wheel, they are making moves. Wildcard mode in Season 26 basically turns Apex into a smaller, faster, chaotic BR. It's fun, it's wild, but it also feels like Respawn admitting, okay, maybe the core BR formula isn't cutting it anymore. Every season, Legends get buffs and nerfs. Ashe is now nerfed, Bangalore buffed, Maggie reworked. They're trying, but the perception is that balance changes are reactionary instead of visionary. New skins, mythics, and limited time events still roll out, but too often they're overshadowed by their price tags. When your community is more focused on complaining about cost than playing the event, you have a problem. And then, of course, remember when they switched to Amazon servers? Yeah, it was supposed to fix things, but competitive Apex still has disconnects and lags. The tech issues remain. So Respawn is doing stuff, but it often feels like putting duct tape on a broken jump tower, if I'm being perfectly honest. And going back to the monetization problem, the free-to-play model only works if players feel like spending is optional but rewarding. Apex has leaned too hard on the whale model, designing events where only the biggest spenders can realistically get everything. Loot boxes, still here. Prestige skins, $160 for an animated outfit. Battle passes, nerfed, buffed, nerfed again. Players can't really trust the system or what EA is going to do. Limited time skins are rotated so aggressively that if you miss them, well, they're going to come back anyways. And here's the real damage. Trust. Players feel like Respawn and EA are milking them instead of rewarding them. And once you lose trust, it's hard to get back. So can Apex ever get back to its glory days? Yeah, but it'll take serious changes, not just what we've been seeing. You gotta dial back the ability span, bring the focus back to shooting and movement. Apex shines when skill expression is king. That's what made so many content creators popular, not the fact that, they could go ahead and Wraith Portal. You also gotta stop bringing back recolors, and we need some big map updates, bold new legends, and maybe even Titanfall mechanics like wall running permanently to make that part of the player base happy. I would love to see them get rid of loot box only cosmetics, lower prestige prices, make battle passes rewarding again. That's like a pipe dream. I don't think that's ever gonna happen. Invest in stronger anti-cheating and create systems to protect new players from smurfs, because nothing kills growth faster than fresh players quitting after 2 matches. Again, not sure if EA is ever gonna do that. And then talk to the community. Transparency is key. Dev diaries, roadmap, open conversations. Apex doesn't need to be Fortnite, but it does need to stop feeling like EA is holding its hostage. And we have gotten more communication, but it always feels kind of, I don't know the correct way to term this, but it feels like a half-truth or only a sliver of what we actually should know. All that being said, that's going to be today's video. We're going to jump into community clips now. Don't forget to submit your own to me at Thordan Smash on Twitter. But without further ado, let's roll it.
Enemy down.
Releasing an arc star. Releasing an arc
I'm getting shot. That enemy shield is broken.
Well, what are some of your guys' thoughts about coming to the game in the near future and the controversy surrounding it? Also, don't forget to check out this video right here, where we cover more news and information on Apex Legends on the daily. And until next time, everyone, keep sliding the outlands. I'll see you out there.